It's nice and soft and creamy looking. Today I'm going to show you how to make an old-fashioned traditional fudge. I have a medium heavy bottom pot and I'm going to add in 2 cups of white granulated sugar, 1/2 cup or 1 stick here in the United States of butter, and I just have it kind of broken up into little pieces. It just melts a little bit easier. And I have 1 cup of mini marshmallows, or you could use large marshmallows, 10 of the large marshmallows. And we'll put that in there. And now I have 2/3 of a cup of evaporated milk. They call this the candy milk or the cooking milk or the baking milk. If you can't find evaporated milk, you can use whole milk as well. Now over to the stovetop. And I have the burner set to medium heat, which is about 350 Fahrenheit or 176 Celsius. And now we are going to just cook and stir and melt everything down and bring the temperature up to about 234 degrees Fahrenheit or about 112 Celsius, and that is the soft ball stage. I'm going to use a candy thermometer, but if you don't have one, I'll tell you a way to get around that. And there are several styles of thermometers. This is my trusty candy thermometer that I've used for several years. So you could use one like that. And then another one that I like to use is just this digital one, traditionally for meat, but you can also use it for candy. And you just stick it in there and it gives you the temp right away, which is really cool. So the trick about this is you really need to constantly stir, especially when it starts getting warmer. And sometimes if you have a buildup of sugar on the sides, you want to brush those down as well. And that'll just help to create a better fudge. So this can be a little bit more finicky. This traditional way of making fudge is a little more finicky than what we call like a microwave fudge, the 3-ingredient fudge. And this whole process is going to take about 15 minutes. And once it gets to this part where it's bubbling like this, it's only going to take about 5 minutes. So if you don't have a candy thermometer, once it gets to this bubbling phase, just set the timer for 5 minutes and then you should be good. And you're going to want to make sure to constantly stir like this. Okay? Constantly stir with a wooden spoon or silicone spoon. All right, just a little bit more, just about 9 degrees away. All right, I'm right about there. You can be a few degrees over, a few degrees under. And now I'm going to remove this from the heat. All right, and then we want to just keep stirring. And then we're going to add in the chocolate chips. This is 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And just keep stirring that chocolate in there. And it melts a lot easier if the chocolate chips are room temperature. And just keep stirring so it doesn't burn. Kind of go around the sides with your spoon. And then we can put in the vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon. And once we put the chocolate chips and vanilla extract in, we're going to stir and stir for a couple minutes until it loses its shine a little bit and looks a little bit dull looking. And then put in the chopped walnuts, 1 cup of chopped walnuts. And those are optional, the walnuts are optional. And then once you have those in here, we are ready for the pan. And I have 1 pan. This is let's turn this around a little bit so you can see it better. We'll just pour the fudge right into this pan. This is a 7x11 pan, but you can use like a 9x9 or 8x8 pan as well. And then you want to just spread it out in your pan. And once you have it spread out and level in your pan, and I just line the pan with parchment paper. You can also just spray the pan as well and do it that way without the parchment paper. I like the parchment paper because then you can just pull the whole thing out and it's really easy to cut. And just let it sit on the counter or on the stovetop, just somewhere, and let it just cool and set completely. All right, so just let it sit for about 1 hour to 2 hours until it firms up onto that step. And when the fudge sets, it'll look something like this. If I'm going to let it set overnight, then I'm just going to usually put a little piece of plastic wrap on the top of it. It helps to keep it from drying out a little bit. It's not necessary, but I like to do it. And so there it is, really awesome. Looks like it's set really well. And what I'm gonna do, the beauty of using the parchment paper is we can just pull it right out of the pan, just like that. You don't have to cut it in the pan or anything. And I'll take the parchment paper around the sides there, and then time to cut it. And you can make the serving sizes, whatever you like to do. Usually little cubes are the classic way to cut these. Or if you're like me, you just use this one big piece as a serving and just kind of eat on it like this. Just kidding. All right, I'm just gonna take my knife and I'm going to just cut these. Sometimes it's easier to manage if you just cut it in half and work with half of it at a time. And if your knife gets sticky, what you can do is dip it in really hot water, and that helps to cut it. And this is nice. I can tell how nice and creamy this is just by cutting into it. And then I want to just pick one up and just show you kind of what it looks like. One of these bigger ones in the middle. Nice and soft and creamy looking, and if I take a bite out of it, look at that texture. It's a nice creamy fudge texture, so good. Now I have some troubleshooting tips for you. If your fudge does not set, usually the culprit is you did not heat it up to the right temperature. That's why it's really handy to use a candy thermometer. Now, if your fudge turns out a little bit grainy, some people don't mind grainy fudge. If you don't like your fudge grainy and it does turn out grainy, all is not lost. You can put that back in your pot and add about a cup of water to it, or like a half a cup of cream, and then set the heat to like a medium low and just gently, slowly melt it, and then turn the heat up a little bit until it gets to medium, and then reheat the fudge to the proper temperature, and a lot of times that will solve that problem. Another reason why fudge might be grainy is you don't mix it long enough or beat it long enough after you put the chocolate chips in there and the vanilla extract. You want to stir and stir until it doesn't look shiny anymore and it's a little bit dull looking, and then you can put it in your pan, and that will help the grainy texture. So those are a few troubleshooting tips. If you have any other problems, make sure to let me know in the comments. Take care. Time for me to dive into one of these. Oh yeah. Yeah. I love me some fudge. Woo.